Welcome back to the GM, man. We are in the lab again today, just grinding out videos. There's a lot of things to cover. This is a big week for the Baltimore Ravens the Baltimore Ravens organization, and the Baltimore Ravens future. And so I want to show you guys a video from this morning, a conversation between Jeremy Fowler and the ESPN crew, Max, Keyshawn, and Jay Will, having a conversation about some quarterback news. Let's go.
About this guy across the river from Jay and you guys in Daniel Jones. What's the latest on his big money, 4-year, $170 million potential money he could be cashing in on?
Yeah, Key, the Giants and Daniel Jones reps were negotiating pretty hard all week in Indianapolis in the scouting combine. So they're working toward Tuesday, 4 p.m., which is the franchise tag deadline. So there's optimism that something can get done. It's going to be a big number, I'm told, most likely with a 4 in front of it. And so
really,
yeah, you're looking at, if it's a 4-year deal, which they've talked about, it would be in excess of $160 million or more. So they'd have to find a sweet spot on that. Now,
guaranteed?
No,
right. What's the guarantee?
I don't.
Jeremy, I don't think so.
But I bet I'll have strong guarantees. I do.
So 3 years of the salary guaranteed, something like that. Is it 2 or 3 is the question?
A lot of these quarterback deals are, in the 50, 55, maybe 60% guaranteed.
Okay.
So, perhaps Jones's people can get that percentage higher, get it closer to 100, but I would be surprised if it was fully guaranteed.
I bet you he's a 70% guarantee guy.
Yeah,
on his 4-year deal.
I can see that.
Is that just current market value where he is? Do you like it? Does that sound right to you? Or and by the way, sounding right doesn't mean that actually is what it should be.
Correct.
What do you think it should be for the caliber of talent that Daniel Jones is?
Because the market doesn't always account for
1000%.
The caliber of player.
Yes.
It's about what you're available to at the time. And the logic here is, I think, at least with the player is, okay, let's say he gets $45 million a year, right? It sounds crazy on paper, but by the time Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert all do their deals sometime in the next 6 months, all of a sudden Daniel Jones is maybe the 9th highest paid quarterback or the 10th highest paid, which really wouldn't be all that crazy.
So let's pause right here. So I want to reflect just real quickly. Remember I told you that it's not Burrow, Hurts, or Herbert's deal that the Baltimore Ravens should be concerned about. It's the deal that Daniel Jones signs, especially if he gets signed before Lamar Jackson. If Daniel Jones walks away with a 4-year, $170, 4-year, $180 million deal, tapping him out at $43 million per, something like that, then that sets Lamar Jackson's market value at about $48 million. Want to point out something really quick. I want you to think about this. Daniel Jones was drafted in 2019. He's going to get paid before Lamar Jackson. Kyler Murray was drafted after Lamar Jackson in 2019. He's already paid. Everybody who came along with Lamar Jackson, with the exception of Baker Mayfield, who's been a flop, and that other guy who's not even in the league, Josh Rosen, they've already been paid as well. And so the point that I'm making is, the point from this video is that if Daniel Jones gets signed, it's going to cause Lamar Jackson's floor, meaning his contract floor, to be somewhere around $47 to $50 million a year, which is about the market value. And you hear Jeremy Fowler, who is an expert, say that quarterbacks are getting paid based on market value, right? And so how can other quarterbacks get paid on market value, but Lamar Jackson, who's done more? He's done more than Herbert, done more than Burrow, he done more than Josh Allen as far as wins and losses, and as far as winning the MVP. He's done more than those guys have with less, but he's not supposed to expect market value. But let's keep listening. They're going to talk about Lamar Jackson here in a second.
But I had less help at wide receiver, and I won a playoff game and had a big year. And so, that's his argument, those two principles. And so the Giants really have to be willing to meet them halfway on that. And so far, they haven't shied away from the big number. They've continued to negotiate. And that's why a lot of the league is fairly surprised. That was the biggest surprise out of the combine when I talked to people, is that the Giants appear all in on getting this done.
Jeremy Fowler, ESPN senior NFL writer, joining us this morning on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. So, Jeremy, you was down in Indianapolis. Tell us some of the gossip in Indy that we didn't hear that's in your hip pocket. Give us something.
Yeah, so there's some good Lamar Jackson gossip. I heard from multiple people that they think that the Ravens will put the non-exclusive franchise tag on Lamar Jackson, which would set up other teams to be able to put in offer sheets for Lamar Jackson, and then the Ravens could match that offer and keep Lamar under a long-term deal, or they could decline the offer and pick up 2 first-round picks. So that would be big. I still believe the Ravens are deciding and are not firm one way or the other. So if they put the exclusive franchise tag on, it's $45 million, and he's locked in at least for this year. If the non-exclusive is so far different where that gets other teams involved in the mix, whether it's Atlanta or maybe Miami or whoever just wants to zero in on Lamar Jackson, they have a clear path to do it, and that would be bananas for the next.
Because somebody's going to give him that max.
Yes and no.
Somebody's going to, and I
don't know that. I don't know that. I'm not convinced.
You really don't think somebody would give Lamar Jackson?
Listen to Keyshawn Johnson's question and analysis coming up in just a second.
Jay,
$230 or $240 million
guarantee. Interesting to me, because when I hear a teammate come out and say, I know Lamar really wants to be here, and then I hear that coupled with the team might non-exclusive franchise tag him, to me it all adds up to maybe the market is not as robust as I thought it would be.
I can tell you right now, Jeremy, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong.
I would think so, but
David Tepper, the owner of the Carolina Panthers, will do anything for a quarterback, and he's got more money than God. You don't think a guy like that would say, well, if this is what you want, Frank, this is what we need, I'm willing to go to 238, 239. I'm willing to do it and give up those 2 1s. Or the Miami Dolphins, for instance, which is in your backyard, they all of a sudden say to themselves, well, we like Tua, but we still got to pick up that 5th-year option on Tua, which is probably around $30 million. So do we want to hedge that bet, or do we have an opportunity now to pick up one of the most explosive quarterbacks that gives us even more speed on the offensive side of the ball, what we already have?
So what Keyshawn Johnson is just referring to is a quarterback hungry, quarterback thirsty franchise, which the Carolina Panthers are. I don't think with the Tyreek Hill trade last year that the Miami Dolphins is going to have the draft capital, maybe even the cap space to get that done. But the Carolina Panthers, who've been after everybody, they've been after Deshaun Watson. They thought about going after Russell Wilson. They wanted Derek Carr, but he's leaning towards the New York Jets. They will certainly pony up whatever is necessary to go get a guy like Lamar Jackson, because they have a win now defense. And if Lamar Jackson winds up in Carolina, that would set the Carolina franchise up good for at least 4 to 5 years. David Tepper, who's the richest owner in the NFL, would not have a problem giving up the draft capital and paying Lamar. And so I think that certainly could be a possibility. So listen, man, let me know what you guys want me to know about this video, man, about what these guys are saying. Super interested hearing from you guys in the comment section. And stay tuned for the GM's video on why the non-exclusive franchise tag is a horrible idea for the Baltimore Ravens. I'm your guy, Boulanger. This is the